So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Alex Scoble, and I'm here at the Monogram Design Center in Chicago. And Alex Uxner, our senior training manager, and Chef John are going to talk to you all about refrigeration today. So thank you for joining us. But before we get started there, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of our designer programs we have put in place. So hold on. Of course, my screen isn't moving. There we go. So can you all see my screen? Yes. Okay, great. So whether you're a reseller or you're internal, one of our ASMs or one of our MSMs or a designer, this is a great program for you guys to know about. So we have what's called our Monogram Trade Partner Program, and really it's a program for the designers. It's our way to reward designers for specifying Monogram into their beautiful projects. So being part of this program allows you a couple things. One is that you are now allowed to extend preferred builder pricing to your clients. Secondly, through the end of the year, designers can get double rewards if they specify their first 4-piece package of our minimalist or statement collection. And then down at the bottom of the slide, monogramtradepartner.com, that's where you'll go to register for it. So not only do we have our rewards program, we also offer our designer training program here in Chicago. And this is really our way to continue to build a relationship with the designers out in the marketplace. So we fly you into Chicago, you learn all about our product, do hands-on cooking with none other than our Chef John. We bring about 10 to 12 designers at a time, and we do that twice a month. So it's a great networking opportunity for designers as well. And then lastly, to qualify for this program, we do ask that you do specify a number of kitchens a year, and that kitchens are part of your focus of your firm. And if not, we definitely have resources, our Monogram sales team out in the field that can help educate you, take you to lunch and talk to you all about Monogram with our beautiful new displays that are in some of our resellers. And then lastly, another program that we do offer to the trade. I love this program because I think it really truly makes, designers become brand advocates, because we offer you 50% off of UMRP. So when the designer, architect, or builder wants to put Monogram in their own home, we would absolutely love that. And you would still purchase through your reseller. So you have our email addresses. If you have any questions on any of these programs, please reach out to us. We are here to be your resource. And so before we get started, and I pass it over to Chef John in here in our MDC, or Alex Uxner in our Monogram Experience Center in Louisville, I just want to cover a couple housekeeping things. I know a few of you have been on the call, but the Microsoft Teams platform might be new to others. So first, you have your video icon at the bottom of your taskbar. We'd love to see your faces, so feel free to turn on your video. Then you have the microphone, so you all will be muted, but if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself, or if you scroll over to the right side, you see the little chat box. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat box. And then lastly, you see the participants icon on the far right there. If you go ahead and click that, you will see the list of attendees pull up on the right over here. You'll want to look for John Liddell, as you'll want him to be your primary screen as he talks all about refrigeration. So to the right of his name, you will see 3 dots. So go ahead and click on those 3 dots. And then what will pop up is the option to pin him. Go ahead and pin Chef John, and then he should now be your primary screen. Okay, well, without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to John at the MDC and Alex in the MEC in Louisville, Kentucky.
Thanks so much, Alex. I really appreciate that introduction and little tutorial on how to navigate through this platform. Like Alex said, I'm Chef John down here in downtown Chicago. I'm joined by the Alex Uxner over there. I can never get his name right, but one day we're going to get it right over a few beers. And he's over there in Louisville, Kentucky. So I think we've got a great panel on the call here today. I think that any question, be at any level of interest or expertise, we will get it answered for you. I know we have a lot of exciting things to share with you on refrigeration. I know sometimes refrigeration training's And conversations can get a bit redundant, but I promise you, in the Monogram line, we have a lot of little features, be it a material or how the unit actually performs. That's going to grab your attention, draw you in, whether it's for yourself or a client, and give you a lot of tools to talk about Monogram refrigeration by the end of this training. So to begin with, I got Alex on screen with me now, and we're going to talk about side-by-sides. Alex Scoble is, again, let's see, if I know a little bit about refrigeration, she knows, like a wealth of knowledge. So she's going to tell us a bit about the different sizes, some of the installation stuff on our different side-by-sides. And Alex, right now we are standing in front of a 42 or 48?
No, 42-inch side-by-side. That is standard installed. So when it comes to the side-by-side refrigerator, there's a few things I want to discuss. So as far as sizing, you have a 36-inch, a 42-inch, and a 48-inch. When you order the 36-inch, you have to get a dispenser. When you move to the 42 and the 48-inch, you can either get dispenser or non-dispenser. It's really up to you. And then when it comes to installing the product, there's again a few options. If you go stainless steel, the product does need to be standard installed like you see here. So it does protrude out of the cabinetry or of the wall about 2 to 3 inches or so. And then the other option is you can do custom panel. So when you do custom panel, you now have a flush install. So what the flush install is I'll show it to you in a second on the French door, but that is where the cabinetry, aligns perfectly in with the wall or cabinetry around it. So again, standard or flush install on the side-by-side, you cannot fully integrate the side-by-side. So yeah, that's a little bit about the install and the sizes of the units. John, I'll pass it back over to you. I know you want to show a couple things.
Yeah, no, I know you. So we order it stainless steel, or you order panel ready. Yeah. But then what about these?
Yeah, so handle kits. That's a great point. So what you want to do next, though, is after you order it stainless steel, you want to make sure you order it with the right handle. And as John is showing you there, those are our two new handles. Our statement with the brass accent, and then the minimalist handle, which is more of that extruded aluminum full piece. So again, that more modern look to it. So yeah, when you order that side-by-side stainless steel, you definitely want to order the right accessory kit, handle kit.
Awesome. Another question I have for you is I've been in different kitchens that our designers do with refrigeration, and they just go crazy with these panels, and like anything you want, you can put on there. Can you do a custom handle on our units as well? So could you do a custom handle on a stainless?
So you can't do it. That's a good question. No, you cannot do a custom handle on the stainless, but you can do a custom handle on your custom panel.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
And just so you know, right now we are in the process of creating a kit where you could order the minimalist or the statement handle to go on the custom panel. We don't have that today, but we're in the process of making it.
Awesome.
So yeah.
And guys, some of these questions I'm going to ask today, I didn't tell them I was going to ask these because they're just off the cuff, and
it makes it more fun, right?
I think it's interesting because a lot of them I don't really honestly know the answer to either. And then to jump to the end of the training, but in the beginning here, we're going to finish with columns, and Alex will talk to us about columns.
Yeah, Alex will. Yep.
But I understand that, like, if you had a Monogram like 30 or 42 or 48 inch, that you could actually uninstall this, and we have a retrofit kit where the columns could fit into this unit. So that's just kind of interesting.
Absolutely. So no, you're right. So if you have a side-by-side today and you're like, wow, I love those columns, I love the features and the benefits that the columns offer, you could absolutely uninstall the side-by-side, reinstall it with columns, and get the retrofit kit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a really good point, whether we're talking just about the columns or just about the side-by-sides here, because I think you'll have a lot of customers that may want to do that trade out, and we're there for you. We obviously keep this in our platform as a refrigerator because it is such a winner, and so many of our customers enjoy the layout and the setup that I'm about to show you. But so thanks, Alex. One other thing I'll point before I open this, a little material fact here. This is a true stainless steel dispenser. When we say true, we mean it matches the other stainless steel in the room. When you look at competitive brands out there, it may look like a stainless steel dispenser, or it may not look like a stainless steel dispenser, which is even worse because it's usually a plastic piece, something much cheaper. We took it all the way to the top, elevated even down to the dispenser. So although you have that dispenser on the outside of your unit, because we match that stainless, it kind of disappears even more. You can see that on screen where it becomes even more minimal. When we open up the door here, and we've got the minimalist handle on this guy, you're going to see in our side-by-sides, we do LED lighting in there. There's some really cool shelving systems, adjustable glass shelving, precision cut shelves, of course. On the door, all adjustable plastic bins here. We actually can get a gallon of milk in the door. Some people say, hey, don't store your milk on the door, it could go off. You know, I don't know anybody that buys a gallon of milk and has it around 2 weeks later. You buy a gallon of milk and 2 days later, you got to get a next one. So if you want to store your milk on the door, you got room for it. We don't try to push you into any areas there. So store it on the door. And then we get into the doors down here. These are all the drawers. You get to really large storage, and you guys can maybe see that a little bit. I'll put the camera down just a bit. You know, crisper drawers, you know, we didn't recreate the wheel there, okay? It's a crisper drawer. We get our veggies in there, we get our cheese, our deli meats, whatever you like in there. Really great. What I want to talk about is this bottom drawer, because I think that is an area that we did recreate the wheel on, because this is like your multi-function drawer. You usually think of your refrigerator as kind of one-dimensional. I'm going to put the milk in, I'll put the cheese in, and it all come out at the same temperature. And if I drink my soda really cold, you know, that better be okay temperature for my cucumbers or my lettuce too. With this drawer, I have more control. We actually have a system in here that's like a tower shelving system, or sorry, air tower cooling system. And I know Alex is going to talk more about that on the column unit, so I'm not going to get into it. But what it allows us to do is have more capabilities, especially on our side-by-side. So this bottom drawer here is great. I can turn this into an express chill. That's for when my wife walks in with a warm bottle of champagne, or I walk in and I want my beer just a little bit colder. I might move it down to the bottom and do an express chill for 15 minutes. I could do 30 minutes or 45 minutes, just get everything rapidly chilled down. Maybe it's that piece of meat you left on the counter just a little bit too long and you want to get it cooled down. Right down there to express chill. Also on there, the reverse, express thaw. Well, you know, I don't want to turn my whole unit up to 40 degrees when I'm trying to thaw out a chicken breast, because there goes the milk, there goes the cheese and everything else. So with express thaw, I take my package of chicken breast, throw it down there, hit express thaw, and it asks me, is it half a pound, 1.5 pounds, or 3 pounds? So then I select 1.5 pounds for my package of chicken breast, shut the drawer, and then that temperature is just a little higher. We're not going to develop bacteria or anything like that, but we're going to develop food unthawed quicker. But actually, from a chef standpoint, that's the right way to thaw things out, is in the refrigerator or under running water, not on the countertop, not in the microwave, not just throw it in the oven raw or frozen. Thaw it out down there, guys. So that's pretty cool. Other great feature, you can see the accent of that stainless steel in the back maybe. That's that actual tower air system that is just supplying even temperature across the whole unit, except for when we select that bottom drawer. Now in our side-by-sides, guys, we have, like Alex said, 36-inch, 42-inch, and a 48-inch as well. The 48-inch, you're looking at about 17 cubic feet on the refrigerator side and about 11 cubic feet on the freezer. On the 42, you drop down to about 15.7, almost 16 on the refrigeration side, and 8.6 on the freezer side. And then the 36-inch goes down to 11.5 on the refrigeration side and 8.6 on the freezer side. When we start talking about the freezer side here, again, great lighting system in there. You can see that it shines out really nice and brilliant. Ice maker up top here for your dispenser. Also a service well here where the ice maker actually flips open, and then I can take a scoop and get large format ice or pull the whole bin out and put it into my cooler. These things produce ice very rapidly, very quickly. In a second, we're going to move over to the 36-inch French door. But before we do, I want to point out that on the side-by-sides, the workings or the mechanics are up top, guys. This is your compressors, your condensers, your water filter is in here. It makes it easy to work on because the unit does not have to be removed from the wall to get to all this. So we can service it anytime we need. It makes it easy to change the water filtration. But for a lot of guests that have, a lot of homes that have pets, they like the mechanics at the top because it seems to breathe a little easier for them. It doesn't get so much hair and debris in there. So it's just a little benefit to some folks to have it on top versus the bottom. Now, when we get into our column units later, you're going to see in some of our units that we've done that. We've taken the mechanics and switched them down to the bottom, and it gives you a different interior layout. So while everything is at the top, you can see we have a little bit shorter height to reach in to our refrigerator there. You know, so kind of in a nutshell there with the side-by-side, I think we went through most everything. I would like to ask Alex if he has anything he'd like to add out into the side-by-sides and dazzle us with some exciting information.
Man, you did a great job. I will just add that we've got that tower cooling system that you mentioned with the overhead evaporator does a really great job at keeping the refrigerator and the freezer section completely separate climate. So we circulate the air through that fresh food section. We make sure that we have a nice even temperature within about 2 degrees of the set point to make sure that we have consistent temperature throughout the case. And then we've got the variability with the climate control drawer. And then when we pass that air over that overhead evaporator, that essentially scrubs that air, removes any kind of moisture or odors that might have been gathered in the fresh food section. And you've got super cold, drier air in the freezer. So just a really, really smart cooling system to add to the food preservation story. But outside of that, man, great job.
Alex, I got a question. So does that mean my ice cubes will not taste like onions?
That is correct. Yeah.
Yes, so, that's huge. That's awesome. The other thing that I'll add quickly too is, you know, as we've been talking about these new collections and we're really focused on, you know, materials and performance and innovation. And then lastly, that ownership piece. So as we start to talk more about ownership, you'll see that the products that we start to launch are Wi-Fi connected. So this unit is going to be Wi-Fi connected. What does that allow you to do? That allows you to get notifications on your water filter when that needs to be changed. That allows you to change and adjust the temperature right from the app on your phone. And the other thing that allows you to do is, should you need service for some reason, you can actually diagnose the unit by being Wi-Fi connected and see what's wrong with it beforehand. So again, just continuing to, you know, improve and continue to expand on our ownership piece. And you're going to see that in all of our appliances going forward.
Yeah, thanks. I sometimes forget about that smart aspect to these appliances. Yeah, it's been more than 2 years since I started cooking in kitchen, so I got to teach an old dog a new trick there. But I can see where it's going. Yeah. You know, to be in the beginning stages of that connectability and Wi-Fi, and you know, talking to customers, and it's the customers that kind of bring us some of these ideas and some of the, you know, the things that we would be able to monitor with it. You know, we just had one of our colleagues retired not long ago, but she was a little vertically challenged, let's say, and sometimes reaching things up high is a little tough. So she's like, I actually like my app because I can control the refrigerator temperature and all of those things, or the lighting, or anything you do from the control panel. Now you can pretty much do from that app. So love that idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we slide on down?
Yeah, let's move on over.
All right, take you on a little trip here.
Yeah, road trip.
All right.
So, can you guys see the French door here?
Well, yeah.
Okay, great. So, the French door. So, this is our 36-inch French door. We only offer the French door in a 36. So, you can get this in you can install this in 2 different ways. You can install it flush installed like you see here. And so, when I say flush installed, I'm talking about the reveal here on the side. So, from the end of the panel here to the wall, there's a 1/4 inch space. Now, if I removed that panel and looked at the actual unit to the wall, it's a 1/2 inch space. And so really what that panel does is it allows us to cover the hinges and allows that panel to slide into that space that's in the wall here. The other option for the French door refrigerator is you can standard install this. So just like I showed you on that side-by-side unit, you can do the same install here. You cannot integrate our French door refrigerator today. So that's really it on the install. It's a pretty quick install in regards to like what the options are, and yeah, and then the sizes, of course, like I said, the 36-inch.
Great, perfect.
Same thing with the handles too. So you'll want to order, stainless steel. You'll want to order that handle kit again. So statement or minimalist. And then also if you get a custom panel, of course, the hardware, you can do custom hardware. And then in the very near future, you'll be able to apply the minimalist or statement like you see here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we do this just in a 36-inch, right?
Just in a 36-inch. We talked about 42. You guys are talking about 42. You're asking us about 42. And so it's definitely, hopefully in our near future.
Right.
Yeah.
Are people still trending towards this, or are they kind of trending towards more columns, you think?
So I think it's a mix. I think it really depends on the market. I think a lot of people are starting to move towards the columns. But the one thing that they love about the French door is you can fit that box of pizza down below. It's harder to do on the columns, right?
Or side by side.
Yeah, totally. But then to counter that, I also hear, with the French door bottom freezer, it's hard to keep it organized down there, and it just becomes this dumping pot. So it really just depends on what you're using your freezer for, I think.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, and that's why we talk cubic feet and layout anytime a customer comes into the showroom, because some people have never even seen a Costco pizza. They're like, yeah, what am I going to get that for? And other folks are like, if I don't have 10 of them in my freezer at any time, life is just going to be over. So I see that same conversation, like Alex said, where they really gravitate to this bottom kind of over-under setup for a little larger format. It does kind of get a little bit unorganized depending on what you got in there. I mean, the last few months, we'll probably still be digging stuff out of our freezer 10 years from now. But you have a nice big bin in the bottom, that metal construction. I'll show you from the top. But then there's another level here too. I think. Yeah, you can see it's nice and removable too. So nice metal construction. This isn't like a plastic deal, guys. It's meant to be in there. But you can see we give you two different levels in that lower drawer to help with some of the organization. And then even if you needed more height, I guess you could kind of remove this and stack up all those Costco pizzas in the bottom as high as you can get them. So a lot of cubic feet going on down there. We're looking at about 6.2 cubic feet in the bottom freezer here. Ice maker, all the goodies in there. Up top, you guys will see some cool stuff. Nice thing about the Monogram French doors, I can kind of open or close from any direction. It's not, if you open this one, you have to shut that one first. You just kind of go after it any way you want, so it's natural. We're not going to retrain you to open your refrigerator with one hand or the other. So any way you want to open it, you walk right up. And of course, one of the first things that I see when I open this refrigerator is the design, the materials. Guys, real glass fronts here and metal door bins, adjustable. You can feel the difference and see the difference in there. And that's not just anything. I mean, it's actually precision glass fronts on all of our crisper drawers too. So we use a precision cut on there, and you can see the metal fasteners. Just give it a great soft look, yet still kind of industrial. And then soft close on all of that. Great lighting system in top. And then what I like is that upfront control system there too. So nothing's hidden, easy to access, all illuminated. Anything you normally would find in a Monogram refrigerator, you're going to find in here too. And of course, the deli drawer down below. There's a lot to say about this unit, again, from the gallon size doors. We do have gallon size doors on there too. Soft close. And then the other cool thing is you can kind of configure this if you were, maybe your refrigerator's up against a wall or a different type of space. The fact that you have a French door actually gives you more space to cut or more aisle room, walkway room, because it doesn't open so deep into the room. And then you also can control the opening of these doors from 90 degrees, 115 degrees, or 130 degrees. So you can really kind of configure them into the space to make more use of that space.
And what I love too is that you can fit some of those, you can fit a half-size pan in there. It's harder to fit some of those longer pans in a column, in a side-by-side. So I love that it gives you more space lengthwise to put some more things in there.
Yeah.
Also, too, what I love, and I think you had said it, but if I'm carrying a heavy tray in my hand, it's nice to be able to have one hand to open it and put that tray in there for sure.
Single hand operation.
Yeah. Totally.
And then even on energy efficiency, a lot of times all of these little things come into play. You can open a refrigerator, and if you had a thermal gun, you could just watch the temperature skyrocket and temperature from refrigerator temperature to warm, especially on the doors here. So, if you know where your stuff's at in the refrigerator, you might only have to open one door and you keep a lot of that temperature inside, and it's a little bit more efficient. I know it's kind of like splitting hairs, but it's still probably very, very true that we're going to be more efficient with a French door than a full door. Now, Alex, is there anything else you want to add to that? I think we kind of got all that one.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you've done a good job on us. I think that's what we're proving here.
What's the next one? We're gonna let you cover a lot of this because you've been talking about it for a while, and the way you talk about it's just great. It's great examples and stuff. So before we do that, though, I just want to show you guys what a 30-inch freezer and 30-inch refrigerator column looks like without the panel on it. So again, when you order these units, you want to order it with that panel and with that handle. So with the other stainless steel units, you're only ordering that handle kit. Here you're ordering the stainless steel panel and the kit. And so before I pass it over to Alex, I do want to note that in the freezer column, we offer it in a 24-inch and in a 30-inch now. That 30-inch unit is new. We just launched that this year. We heard you guys told us we need a 30, so we got it, and here it is. And then on the right-hand side over here is the refrigerator, and we offer that in a 24 and a 30-inch as well, which made me forget. In the freezer, we offered it in an 18-inch too. So yeah, lots of flexibility, again, allowing you to really customize what fits your client's lifestyle or your customer's lifestyle. But before, I think I'm gonna pass it over to Alex. I don't think I have anything else to add right this second.
All right, well, thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Yes, so just to reiterate Alex's point, these ship custom or stainless panel ready because these are fully integrated units. So, you can see either on Chef John's screen or here that we've got these articulating hinges that allow us to do a truly flush installation. So for that reason, these ship panel ready because we don't know if the homeowner wants to go with stainless panels, which we offer along with our statement or minimalist handles, or if they want to go fully integrated with their own custom panel look to match their surrounding cabinetry. So that's a great thing about columns is you've got that flexibility. As you can see on Chef John's screen and this pair that I have behind me, they're installed right next to each other, but these are standalone units. So this is an all refrigerator. This is an all freezer, that 18-inch freezer that we mentioned here. So these are standalone units that are installed with each other using a heater unification kit to complete that unified look. But you can absolutely install these, separate from each other. I actually, in another part of this room, Alex and John, don't let me forget, I'll show you guys what the install looks like. We have a 30-inch refrigerator and freezer with custom panels that are actually installed apart from each other. So I can show you guys that in a little bit. So just to kind of, tack on to what Alex said about making sure if somebody wants this nice stainless steel look, they would want to order the correct panel and the correct handle. So John did a great job at showing you guys those handles. I even got I busted out my handle so I could do this as well. So, the nice brass accent for the statement handle, and we've got the nice minimalist handles installed on these units. And I also love that they teed up that you have the ability to take an existing 42 or 48-inch side-by-side and plug in a pair of our Monogram columns without the need for any electrical cabinetry or plumbing modifications. You just need our retrofit kit. And coincidentally, I'm standing in front of a stainless steel dual installation that's using a retrofit kit. So we used to have a 42-inch built-in in this cutout, and I'll pull you guys over here so you can kind of get a look. Hopefully this is coming through, but you see we've actually got a stainless collar trim that goes around both of those units when we install this in an existing built-in cutout, because it would be a 24-inch deep cutout, and really to go fully integrated, completely flush, including the door panels, you need 25 inches of depth for our fully integrated column. So we've got a really great solution in the retrofit kit that allows you to have a nice looking install like this. It comes with the longer power cords you would need, the stainless collar trim, and even a T-splitter for the water line, so you can make use of the ice maker and the water dispenser. So so really great kind of plug and play solution for someone who might just be looking to upgrade their refrigeration. So so let's just go ahead and open these things, because again, you know, just about any manufacturer who's in the columns business, you know, everybody has a solution for stainless panels. Just about everybody can do custom panels, right? So the big differentiation is what happens when you open the door, okay? And we've got some beautiful things to talk about on the inside of these columns. I think one thing that instantly catches people's eye is the lighting, okay? So we've got beautiful theater style lighting that's actually in the front of the case, and it's angled back. So it's going to highlight your, I like to say it's going to highlight your food and not your face, right? It's not going to blind you when you open it up to get some food out. But another thing that's a really unique execution that you're not going to see in any other columns manufacturers is the lighting that we actually have built in to these glass shelves. Yeah, if you want to give that a tilt, you can see it. Yeah, there you go. So you guys can see these kind of engage and disengage. So these are completely adjustable glass shelves that have built-in LED lighting that shines from the back to the front. And we took it even a step further, because we wanted to get, you know, not only just some beautiful lighting execution within the drawer, or I'm sorry, within the shelves, but we wanted some nice functionality there too. So I love that Chef John went ahead and took that out. As you can see around the perimeter, there's actually this etching. And we call this a hydrophobic etching. So, you know, that means scared of water, right? But really, that's kind of what it is. So if you have like a slow leak or a spill on a container that's on this shelf, that liquid is actually going to bead up where that etching starts, so it doesn't spill over onto the next shelf. So not only do we have super unique execution with the built-in LED lighting, but we do have some nice spill-resistant qualities without having like a bulky raised lip or edge around the shelf. So nice clean look, some great functionality there. Some other things that we love to point out is, you know, Chef John and Alex talked about the materials. We love pointing out the materials, and I'll take a step back and tell you why. You know, we did a lot of research, and what we found out with, you know, these luxury appliance consumers and homeowners is, when it came to quality and even just the perception of quality, the number one thing that was most important to these customers was the materials incorporated into the product. So that's why you see this beautiful glass shelving. And I always love taking off this door bin and just handing it to somebody who's interested in checking out some columns, because these are precision machined extruded aluminum and glass door bins. Guys, extruded aluminum, that's the same stuff they build aircraft out of. All right, it gets stronger as it gets colder. Probably makes sense to put something like that in a refrigerator and a freezer. And you won't see this type of material and precise execution in a lot of other columns manufacturers. So, you know, keep that in mind. Feel the weight and quality of these door bins, right? You know, kind of from a performance standpoint, I like talking about that tower cooling system. So you guys might notice, hopefully, in either of these frames, we've got a nice extruded aluminum back panel that's going to complement, you know, the door bins and the drawers, everything really nicely. So we've got a nice added touch of color on the inside. But you might notice these things in the back, okay? So I get a question a lot about, you know, what are those handles on the back wall for? Guys, those are not handles. You're not going to open that up and walk into Narnia or anything like that. What that is our tower cooling system. So similar to the side-by-side we just went over, this is going to allow us to maintain a precise temperature throughout the entire case. So you can load your groceries the way that you want to. You've got some other manufacturers out there that do, I'm sure they don't call it this, but we call it kind of like a cold air dump, where all of that cold air is just coming from the top and they're using gravity to work its way down. Well, that naturally doesn't lend itself to have the most precise temperature control in every bit of the case. So we want to make sure that we're going to have the consistent temperature that you want. You load your groceries the way that you want, And hey, if you want a little bit of variation, similar to that side by side, I'll tilt down here. We've got these nice soft closed drawers here. So similar, this one here is your crisper drawer, but down here is our electronic temperature control drawer. So we actually have 3 different temperatures that you can select for this bottom drawer, and it's meat, beverage, and deli, which corresponds to 32, 34, and 36 degrees. So, so you got the consistent temperature in the case, and you've got somewhere that you can have that adjustment and have a little bit more control for certain items that might need to be at a different temperature. So really nice cooling system and performance from that standpoint. Now we've got another really unique feature that I love talking about, and that is what ships with all of our Monogram column refrigerators is this autofill pitcher. All right, so essentially it's a docking station for your water pitcher. So we're going to ship this inside all of the Monogram column refrigerators. And what it is I can put this right here into the docking station, and within a couple seconds, it starts filling up with 54 ounces of chilled filtered water. So I can always have a pitcher full of cold filtered water on demand whenever I need it, okay? Now you've got some other columns manufacturers that have, you know, some don't even have a dispenser in the refrigerator, and some have this internal dispenser that's on the inside wall. And I think about this, if, you know, maybe you've got company, you have multiple glasses you need to fill. Well, now I'm just standing here with the door wide open and I'm letting all this cool air out as I have these glasses. Or maybe I have a larger container, such as a pitcher, and I just have to stand there with the door open. Well, I could just take a pitcher full of cold water, take it over to the table, fill my glasses, and then I can put it back in here, and it's already filling and chilling, ready to go for the next use. Now, we get a couple questions about this, and I don't know about you guys. If anybody has ever had a filter pitcher at home, like a Brita or Pure or something like that. And I feel like the biggest thing is you go to get some nice cold filtered water, and almost every time it's empty. Like nobody filled the dang thing, right? And I always tell this story. I used to get so mad. I'd come home. I had an apartment in Cleveland when I lived up there, and I had a filter pitcher, and I'd go to get some nice cold filtered water, and every time it was empty. Nobody filled it. I used to get so mad until I remembered I lived alone and it was 100% my fault. So, so this would be a great feature for someone who's a little bit forgetful like me. But a lot of people ask, like, hey, is that the filter? You know, because people are imagining like a Brita pitcher. And the answer is no. This is a float switch. So this is what basically tells us to stop filling whenever the pitcher is full. So it won't be that slow fill that you would get from like a filter pitcher. This is going to fill just as fast as that water comes out of the dispenser. You know, the user has the option to have this installed or uninstalled. It's very easy to go either way. So if someone would prefer the extra shelf space than the pitcher, not a problem. So it's optional either way, but it's a really unique feature, and it's exclusive to Monogram. So some great stuff going on there. Now, you might see here, as we talked about, these units a little bit taller, right? We've got the control panel up top, but also these are Wi-Fi enabled products. So I have the ability, anything I can do from this control panel. You know, we mentioned our vertically challenged friend who retired from the MDC. She's the best. But yes, she would not be able to reach this panel. So having the Smart HQ app connected to these products would be ideal. So you can control the temperature, get a notification if the filter needs to be changed, get a notification if maybe someone accidentally left the door open. And then we've got some other great features that you can engage right from the app. You know, if the user needs to put these units into Sabbath mode, they can do that with the touch of a button on the app. And we also have a fun feature called nighttime snack mode. And this is actually, you can only engage this through the app. And you know, if you're wondering what nighttime snack mode is, right? Like, does it lock me out of the refrigerator, you know, at midnight or something like that? The answer is no. We are total enablers here at Monogram. So what it's actually going to do is it's going to dim these beautiful bright lights from 100% intensity down to about 30%, so you don't wake yourself up when you go to get your midnight snack. And what's cool about that is in the app, I can set that time frame to where, if for example, I go, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., I want it to be in nighttime snack mode. I can set that in the app. And then outside of that time range, it'll come back up to the full bright intensity that you see here. So a nice fun feature, but also I think is very useful. So I think that's a thoughtful touch by the Monogram team.
I just want to interrupt you real quickly. So I love that. So now not only will I be a sleep walker, I'll be a sleep eater too. That's great. But before we even go on to the next thing that you're going to talk about, I'd love to ask the chat. Are you guys selling columns? Are you selling French doors? What's happening in your marketplace? What do people tend to be buying the most right now? I'm curious. Let us know in the chat, please. I'll pass it back to you, Alex.
All right. So, that's kind of the quick rundown on columns. Something I always like making sure to point out is our freezer. You look at, again, kind of some other columns manufacturers, and you open their freezer and it's got, wire shelves and bins. But we have the same great material story in our freezer as we do with our refrigerator. So the same beautiful execution with the built-in LED lights in the glass shelves, the extruded aluminum door bins and drawers that you see here. Full width ice maker in the 18 and 24. Also have an ice maker in the 30-inch. And you see, as John is holding there, a nice big removable plastic bin to catch that. So yeah, we've got super unique way to get your water out of here, and just some amazing features that you don't see in any other columns out there. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that.
Yeah.
And Alex, one more question. Where's that water filter located in the unit?
Yes, the water filter is located up here above the hinge. Okay, so I can tilt that up slightly.
Oh, nice. That's hidden. I like it.
Yep. So it's behind this panel, so it's out of sight. We actually made some really great improvements to our previous platform and cleaned some things up. So that was one of them. We moved that filter up there. You can see down here the toe kick, much cleaner and shorter actually than it used to be. So believe it or not, the inside of these units used to be a little bit taller, but we listened to a lot of really great feedback and lowered them about 3.5 inches. So really great configuration and some great upgrades to an already stellar interior. So there's columns.
Yeah, great.
Now, hey, Alex, I'm not sure if I heard you mention it. Maybe you did. Did you mention the liners that come in all of our bins? It's one of my favorite things. Like I always call it like the weather tech for my refrigerator, So anything that can make cleanup just a little easier. And I also thought, like, how thoughtful is that on a luxury product, that it dampens the sound, catches the mess. Is this necessary? Yeah, Monogram, I think, right?
Absolutely. That's a great point that sometimes I skim over. Yeah, this, from a cleanability standpoint, all of these rubber mats, they're dishwasher safe. You can toss them in there. So great from a spill standpoint. But to your point, kind of the dampening of the sound, right? We've got these nice metal and glass door bins. And if you've got some, glass salad dressing bottles or anything like that, this is going to dampen that sound so you don't hear them kind of clanking around in there. But yeah, great point. Really nice touch. Great attention to detail by the team here at Monogram.
I totally agree, and I love that. Even as folks that talk on the refrigeration all the time, sometimes we glance over it because it's so minimal, but we would notice it if it wasn't there. Like you said, as soon as you set that ketchup bottle down. So yeah, perfect.
And can I throw those in the dishwasher, Alex?
Absolutely. Those are dishwashers.
Great. Easy to clean then too. That's great.
Very good. Anything else?
No, I think Alex hit on everything. So thank you for all of that, Alex. That was great. Let's talk. Oh, actually, did you want to mention quickly, Alex, because I know you've talked about it in depth a little bit. When you install the custom panel on the unit and in the 6-way adjustability, do you want to just talk to that real quickly?
Sure, absolutely, and I love that actually you guys have them shown there without the panels, because you can see, yeah, we even added some extra attachment points to make sure that either that custom or stainless panel adheres snugly to the door. But yes, you know, the team took a lot of care to make the panel installation as easy as possible. Our stainless panels will come with the brackets already attached. If you're going with custom panels, we include the template to be able to attach those brackets. But yes, easy 6-way panel adjustability. So essentially, I would slide this panel on the door and get that horizontal adjustment right. And then there are various set screws that are up here in the corners and in the bottom corners, and that allows us to have that up and down adjustment as well as the in and out adjustment. So we get that perfect 1/8" reveal and make sure that those panels sit flush with the cabinetry. So so yeah, great 6-way adjustability there.
And I can't remember, does this unit level after it's in place? Does this have the system where we level it from the front?
Yes, yes. So you're able to level the unit from the front, absolutely. And yeah, we just get going on that. Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. So we can adjust the panel, we can adjust the level all right in place.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
And then one more thing, you did ask us to remind you, so will you show us the custom panels on this beautiful unit?
Yes, and I needed that reminder, so thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take you guys on a walk with me. I hope nobody gets car sick or anything here. And I will.
Oh, beautiful. I love that they're separated too.
Yes. So that's what I wanted to show here. So you can see, you know, the nice custom cabinetry. It is flush with the surrounding surfaces. And this is our 30-inch refrigerator. And we've got our 30-inch freezer here. So just a nice example of how you can get creative in the design space with columns. You know, you're not restricted to having these units right next to each other. You absolutely can. But if you want to put the refrigerator and freezer on opposite ends of the kitchen, you can absolutely do that too. And I figured I'd just show this off. We got our refrigerator drawer to match. So this is
nice.
An under-counter refrigeration unit there with the same nice custom cabinetry. So pretty cool layout here.
Yeah, well, that's a great use of space. I like it.
Me too.
All right.
Okay,
well,
great. But one more unit we'll move on to.
Now we're going to talk about the 30-inch integrated unit, also known as our convertible drawer refrigerator.
Yeah, so I absolutely love this unit. There's so much flexibility to it. But before I even move to the inside, the exterior, a couple of things. As John said, 30-inch. So we do only offer this unit in a 30-inch. It is fully integrated. So whether you are doing custom panel or you are doing the stainless, it will be fully integrated. You have a couple options as far as the exterior of it. You can do the window like you see today here with stainless. You can also do the glass window with a custom panel. And then you of course can do a solid panel, and that can be in stainless or in a custom panel. So yeah, like Alex has over there, that's beautiful. Look at your custom panel. Wow. Wow, I like that. That's a nice pop of color over there. So yeah, and then when John opens the inside of the unit, you notice that the height of it, right? So standard height for refrigeration is typically 84 inches. This unit was manufactured, you know, I believe it was about 7 years ago, and we've revamped it since then, updated the lighting and everything. But we did keep that 80-foot platform because there was a need at one point in the marketplace where the 80-foot was still there. And so it's for a lot of replacement units or a new build, right? And so you have the option to get the 80-inch, and then also you would get the 84 or the 84-inch panel. So you can get the 80-inch panel that goes right to the top of the unit, or if you have an 84-inch space, you can get the 84-inch panel, and then you would get a custom cover there. We obviously don't have ours finished yet. We're in the process of finishing it right before everything had happened. So we will get that covered. But just wanted to let you know the option, the unit is an 80-inch. You do have the option to get an 84-inch panel to cover it and allow for that 84-inch height. Any questions on that? Is that pretty clear? Yeah, okay. So then, yeah, so I'll pass it over to John and he can talk a little bit about the interior of the unit. This is one of my favorites and there's a lot of reasons why.
Absolutely. This side real quick. Yeah, we both love this unit. For me, just from a chef standpoint, I love the flexibility of it. The idea that we have 3 kind of separate compartments here. This top compartment is always going to be a refrigerator. I can control that, temperature controlled, obviously. This middle section here is always going to be a freezer. That's where your ice maker lives, but it's obviously pretty small. You get a little pint of ice cream in there, bottle of vodka, some other little frozen goodies. Definitely take care of some frozen needs. But this bottom drawer is actually where you can convert. So if you needed more freezer space, you can make this bottom drawer into a freezer. But if you have a freezer or a chest freezer or extra refrigeration, maybe there's a column freezer hiding somewhere in your house where you store all your stuff so nobody sees it, you might want to use this as beverage storage, wine storage, cold refrigeration for lettuces and things like that. So you can turn this into a refrigerator where you can do perfect wine storage, perfect cold storage, all the things I just talked about. You can come with some extra bins down there for that bottom if you want to use it as your refrigerator. You can use those bins to store everything. It's just a very flexible unit, whether you're living downtown in the city and you shop, you know, almost every day for your produce and your meats and everything. You don't need that freezer space. But again, out in the suburbs where you've got that chest freezer in the garage, you might always turn this into a beverage center. But then a couple times a year, you get that turkey, the big prime rib, whatever it is. You might want to keep that turkey frozen for a couple of weeks, leave it down there in the bottom. Week before you're going to use it, turn it back to a refrigerator and let it unthaw out really quickly. When we look at the sizes of these units, again, only a 30-inch unit. The convertible overall is about 14 and a half cubic feet overall. Hard to split that into freezer and refrigeration spaces because, you know, we don't know how you're going to use it. So about 14 and a half feet overall. Again, LED lighting, you got those aluminum trimmed shelves there, fully adjustable shelving system, really great soft close, crisper drawer with little dividers in there as well. I know we talked a bit about the hinge system on here again, and the different ways we can install it. I will point out that, again, different than the side-by-side units or the French door unit, all of the mechanics and motors and everything are located on the bottom here. So below this panel is a grate where your mechanics can breathe from, and that's where, if you have animals, you might want to wipe that down for a little use and care every few months, depending on the type of animals you have. So yeah, fairly simple on that front. Now we're showing the glass door front here. So when you go with the glass door, what you're going to do is get deeper shelving inside. But when you go with a panel ready or a stainless door, you get the door bins on the front. So those door bins will actually cut in to the capacity, interior capacity of these shelves. So you have a little shorter shelving system when you have the door bins. I like the door bins. Again, they're really easily adjustable. I love the door bins on these because the plastic insert actually just removes. So I find myself taking that whole insert out, and when it's burger day, baby, I just take all the ketchup and everything right in there, put that right on the table and let everybody take all the condiments they want, and then I just put the whole thing back in. No more of, you know, what 75 condiments do I have to get out for everybody today? So the other nice thing about that is for cleanability. I just take those right into the sink and hose them down, soap them up, get all the crud out of them. Just makes life a lot easier when it comes to the actual cleanup of the unit. Other than that, I think, oh, I know, the wine rack, you guys can see the wine rack in here, actually stores 6 bottles of wine. Now I can see on some 30-inch setups where that might get in the way. Well, the nice thing is if you're not a wine drinker, it's always going to be in the way, right? So you can actually just take that out and use it to have extra height of storage. It can sit on any of these shelves. It just uses a pressure to hold itself in there. So my wife likes this unit. We actually have one of these, and you know, she always has to have 6 bottles of champagne in there. I always wonder though, I think she refills it every time she opens one. I think she's just that type of person where she wants it staged. So it's great to have that flexibility of having that wine storage there. If your bottom freezer like ours is today, if your bottom drawer is actually turned into a freezer, you get all your beverages up there. So kind of in a nutshell.
Wine, how many bottles of wine hold in the bottom?
Gosh, what is it? Is it 24 or 48?
Both around 30.
30, sure. All right, so 30 bottles of wine. Alex is going to have me load those in as soon as we get off of the call, so I always remember from here. So 30 bottles of wine down there, that's pretty good capacity for a 30-inch unit. I think you guys will agree with that. Now, Alex, are we missing anything there or anything you want to add?
From a feature standpoint, I think you guys nailed it. I just want to touch on a couple things from an installation standpoint. So all these units, and this is also true for our columns, the units themselves are hinge reversible. So we do see a lot of installs of 2 of these units together with opposite hinges, so they open up like that. These units are hinge reversible, but if you were to get one of our stainless panel kits that you see behind John there, the panel kits are hinge specific. So you just want to make sure that you have the right one for the right hinge that you're doing there. And then another thing that was actually a huge improvement that we made on this unit, the features and the flexibility, that's always been there, but we made a big improvement on the panel install and adjustability from just the ease of being able to do it. So kind of a similar story to our columns. We have nice 6-way panel adjustability. You actually used to have to route out the custom panels to make, and you just really needed to get it right. If anybody has experience with an installation of one of these, you guys know what I'm talking about. But I tell you, when our installer was installing this unit and he was like, well, now I got to go route the panels. And we told him like, hey, no, you don't, not anymore. And his eyes just lit up. So big improvement from a panel install and adjustability standpoint. These are just infinitely easier than they used to be. So I just want to touch on that because it was a big upgrade.
Perfect, thank you. And I know I don't know if we have any questions out there, but I see some people answering Alex's question about what they're selling in their market, and I see French doors for sure. So that's good to know that that's still going on. I don't see anything else on the question.
All right, well, yeah, I don't see any other questions either. So thank you guys all so much for participating and joining us again. And we have, tomorrow and Thursday this week. Tomorrow's guest speaker is, I'm drawing a blank now, someone help me. I'm drawing a blank on tomorrow's guest speaker, but on Thursday, who is it?
John Culinary.
Thank you. Yes, John Culinary will be joining us tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we have Katie from JCAF Bath and Design out of Minneapolis. And then we have one more week of our table talk. So we'd love for you guys to join us. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll send a follow-up email at the end of the week so you have all of our contact information. And any way, again, that we can be a resource or help you guys, we're truly here for that. So let us know. And we'd love to hear from you. So other than that, we'll let you guys go right on time today and hopefully see you soon.
And a huge thanks to you, Alex. Thanks for being here today. We love it when you're able to join us. So please stick around.
Yes,
Thanks so much.
Yeah, so good to see you. Okay, we'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.